Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Ninja Josh Evans again on Twitch streaming on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Alright, you were saying something is off. You're saying something about something doesn't feel right. They're not telling us all the details. I'm going to answer your question. They do not have all the details. And it'd be impossible in this big bad world that you call it to have all those details because look at how much things you have to focus on. How can a person be able to understand so much at once? So let me ask you a question within those details that you say that they don't have all the details. Can you count the bugs off the ground? No, seriously. Can you count the amount of bugs off the ground? If you're listening, I don't know if you're listening. I have no clue if you're listening. If you are listening, can you count the bugs off the ground? You don't have the answer to that. So obviously, if you don't have the answer for that, then you can answer the question. Well, you think Mr. Donald Trump made game over? He didn't make game over. All he did was delayed something. He never made game over because it was never going to be game over. In the end, we can only do so much. Okay, but we find other ways. Life finds a different way. And if it was game over, we wouldn't be playing this video game, would we? Now, sometimes you think that the flow of dropping down is dropping the holy hell, but that's not the case. Some things you think is about we need to know all the details, or maybe you're not ready for the details because what you're about to find out is about to be very sad, and you won't be able to handle that detail. It's a hard truth, not reality, but destiny, as it shows. Will come a point where you're not ready for this. So, maybe what you're searching for, maybe what you're trying to seek, is not the time yet. So you're trying to figure out a field that is, as we put it, astronomical. Okay, astronomical. Yeah, that big bad word. Everybody says that word's pretty bad because when they go up there, like, I don't want to know. Because next thing that comes out of that could be problematics. Alright? So this astronomical reason is giving you a clue to something that you may not know the answer to. Now, say for example, whatever the case is, because you're probably trying to figure out 10 fields ahead of you on YouTube or Twitch or what's going on, but you just can't figure it out. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Well, it's like this video was saying, there's a lot of over-exaggeration going on. People weren't aware about these species acting in funny ways. Maybe there was some kind of radioaction field that was going on, and maybe the birds reacted to that. Other people think that maybe there's a Holy Spirit in the area. Okay, maybe some people think that this is so, but there's an outcome to each thing. And maybe it's not meant for us to figure out until the time is right. And maybe they're searching too far ahead into something that they will never know until the time is arising to know. So maybe you should have paid attention to this bug thing. They're like, well, it's bugging me to know. And I keep trying to tell you, that bug, can you count the amount of bugs that are off the ground? What is your heart calling to? And what is your heart telling you when you have to, your first words is, are you insane? There is no way I can count that amount of bugs. Does it bug you to know? Does it bug you to know? Can you be patient? Can you be patient to count with me. Are you catching it? Can you count with me and others? You are no better than that bug. And that bug that bugs you is no better than you. You kept trying to shoo that bug away, and that bug kept coming up to you. Shoo, bug! But it kept coming up to you, annoying you more. But when you embraced it, and you got up, and you put a shield around it, that bug stopped. Because you didn't do the right thing. Now, the outcome was to pay attention. The bug was showing a direction. It was annoyed by you as much as you were annoyed by it. So it annoys you to know something, and you want to know what answers right away. He that waits for good things to come, that keeps waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, he was waiting in the wrong direction. Yeah, it will come in time if you wait, but you need to know the right direction or the wait at. You simply did not know the right section to wait at. You simply did not know what was really going on because of natural reaction from animals and species have different ways of orders of things. Store of the order of life. So now you're trying to figure out how to identify and understand this weird stuff. But you can't. Because you're simply not the bug. You're simply not the creature. You're simply not the speech of that speechless animal. That's speechless over you. The species of this planet, you're not that species. So how could you know? You can try to study as much as you can, but you can never fully understand. Now, my second conversation. Is it more about the throwdown of what I need to know now, or later as it comes up to film to reveal what is only necessary to know? Because some things you will not want to know. Now, is the upcoming of Jesus coming? No one can tell. It is not for you to tell. It is for God to tell. You should not wish upon God to come to something on a tell. Let God come himself when he's ready, on his time. Because you really can't do nothing about it, even if you try. Because you don't get to make that option. God is the only one who gets to make that option. So that is for God. And you will not know when he comes. Because there's no possible way for you to know. Until he wants you to know. Now, why argue over trying to get an answer that we simply do not know until the right time comes? Is it one big game? No. The truth is, it will show when the time is right. But the point of this is really, what is your heart to? Now we got a guy next door to me. Now we got a guy in San Bernardino trying to ponder if this person, who is this person? How does he know all this stuff? Are you a part of God's plan? We're all a part of God's plan. But the question is how you go about it within God's plan. If you choose to be a part of it. Do you need a Bible for that? No. But you need to have faith in for God. Environments usually come around corners, stable lines, and different beings. Different beings react different ways. Now you can argue, or you can simply go with the flow of having faith and just Being thankful for what you know, instead of trying to figure out everything that you do not know.